Hey team, so it's going to be the high dumbbell incline press. So I've got the bench obviously set up quite high. You could go one lower or one higher, again if it feels a bit more comfortable on that shoulder. In terms of the movement itself, it's very similar to a dumbbell press, a seated press, or any kind of variation like that. I'm trying to target the upper chest fibers and probably shoulders as well. You should feel a little bit of both. What I'm going to be doing is very similar to my dumbbell bench press. I'm going to press that movement overhead. I'm going to squeeze everything, and I'm going to think about pushing those dumbbells towards each other to try and get a little protraction through my shoulder blades. On the way down, I'm not going to go super flared out, and I don't want to go super tucked either. I want to be somewhere in between. Generally, wherever feels the most comfortable for you, that is going to be the best position. From here, I want to get as low as I can whilst keeping tension through that chest and through that shoulder, especially the upper chest. I could go lower here, but I lose control. My kind of rib cage pops out off the bench to try and find space. I want to go as far as I can whilst keeping tension through those points. Again, controlling the movement down as low as I can whilst keeping tension, and then pressing back overhead. In terms of what your chest and your shoulder blades should be doing, it is going to be dictated by you and how much range you have. If I wanted to go for as much muscle engagement as possible, then I want to get as much range as motion as possible. If I wanted to go for a pure strength element and I wanted to lift the most load possible, then as I go for it, then yeah, I want to open up that rib cage so I can control slightly more weight, but it is going to shorten that range of motion, especially if you're doing it under control. So bear those two things in mind. For this, we are trying to get the greatest range we can to essentially challenge and stimulate that muscle rather than just trying to purely lift the most weight possible. So I would say go for somewhere in between. If your rib cage needs to come off a little bit to give you some natural space, that's completely fine, but try not to overarch and over exacerbate it just to lift more weight. We are trying to challenge the muscle, not the load. However, if you do it right, even with light weights, you will feel the pump, especially in that upper chest. It's a great exercise. I love it. It's one of my favorites. So you'll probably be seeing it a lot. Enjoy.